y'all. I don't know exactly how this. We can never figure out the exact timing of what stuff goes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So if we, you see us up?
I see you up over here, but it's delayed.
Yeah.
Now,
There we go.
Okay,
Okay, we're up, so we're live. Hello, everybody. We are finally here.
Hey, energy up. You over there doing this like you about to do a book club.
Maybe I am gonna do a book
It's
club.
wrestling, sir.
This
It
might-
is wrestling.
This might be a book club.
You gotta be hype.
You guys also forget that we are in a place of business where people are doing actual work
Hey,
right next to us.
Somebody comes in here, just give them a stone cold stunner.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm close
just,
to the door.
Just pour the one out on them.
That feels like that's an HR issue that we can't do.
I just do the RKO, man. That comes out of nowhere. So.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
It's the three most deadliest letters.
So we are the News 19 Nerds. I'm Michael. This is Avery.
Yo.
We got a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Erskine Ham. I sometimes go by the name of Ersmac the Mad Scientist. You can find us, Orange Phoenix 2017 at gmail.com. That's our email. And Orange Phoenix 2017 on Instagram. And you can also join our group page, Orange Phoenix Geek Corner, on Facebook. We have a podcast that's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. And we do have a YouTube channel, OP Geek Corner, where you can listen to the audio. But we talk about everything of geek culture, and I'm honored to be here with the News 19 Nerds.
That's how you plug something.
I can tell that he's been doing this way longer than we have because he was so polished. I'm like, man, Leroy and I have never sounded that polished in what we do.
Come on.
But nah, man, we're happy to have you for sure. So kind of give us a little bit of your background in wrestling. Why are you here on this wrestling podcast? We're doing Clash of Champions, but give us kind of...
Well, I grew up with wrestling. I'm from South Carolina originally. So WCW and NWA was the premier wrestling show for us down south. You know, either they go to the Charlotte Coliseum or they go to the Omni or they even visit Florence or Lake City, South Carolina to do smaller shows. So growing up, my favorite wrestler was Sting. And my older brother's favorite wrestler, and still is Ric Flair. And you already know Sting and Ric Flair are at odds, and me and my brother always be at odds with each other when it comes to that. You know, he took me to Starrcade '93.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
In
nice.
Charlotte, North Carolina, and I saw Sting and I saw Ric Flair wrestle his match with Vader for the heavyweight title. And
Is Vader still alive?
no, he passed away. Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately.
Probably did.
But to me, that was my turning point. I was vested in wrestling then, but going to Starrcade put me into it at that point.
Okay. So you pretty much been wrestling from '93 on, more or less, right? Watching it.
Even before.
Even before,
But '93
okay.
was that turning point, though.
All right, so now we got two wrestling experts over here, Avery and Erskine. You got the wrestling novice. Just trying to give you guys a little bit of levels of where we are in terms of wrestling.
Something like that.
If you're new to our show, I watched wrestling back in the Attitude Era, Stone Cold, Rock, all that kind of stuff. That was me. I kind of got lapsed, and then Avery hooked me up to tell me, "Hey man, why don't you get WWE Universe or WWE Network?"
Yeah, WWE.
Because what was the first thing we did? WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was the first thing we
Yeah,
did.
because
Good start.
they did the free preview or whatever. You can get it for a month for free, and I was so lazy I never turned off the subscription. But I'm happy with my purchase. $10 a month to get a pay per view pretty much every month now, right?
Yep.
Or every 2 months at least for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've been great shows. So let's just start with Clash of Champions 2019. Before the show started, what were you guys predicting? Like, what do you think was going to be some of the big matches?
All right, well, I mentioned y'all my predictions that I had on Twitter. Let me go right back to that real quick. I figured it would be a good show since all the titles were on the line. I wasn't expecting a lot of titles to change, honestly. And the few that did, I definitely was kind of surprised by it.
Okay.
Well, I looking at this pay-per-view, I know it's not one of the big ones. And I know it used to be called Night of Champions, but it changed it to Clash of Champions, which it was a homage to WCW's Clash of Champions. It used to come on network television. But it was a good show overall. There was some title changes. There was some title matches I wish there was on the main show versus the kickoff show. And I was expecting, the match of the night to be a female, match of the night. So I was expecting that.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really know what to expect. I really enjoyed WrestleMania. I thought that was a good overall show that they put on. And then the next one we did was SummerSlam?
Yeah.
At least for us that we watched. I didn't think SummerSlam was as good as WrestleMania, and probably common sense would say it wouldn't be because WrestleMania is like your big thing. You're putting all your showstoppers out there.
But SummerSlam should be up there with WrestleMania just because it's part of the big four
Yes.
pay-per-views and stuff.
Okay. So is this one of the big four, Clash of Champions?
It's not.
No. Okay.
Big four is considered WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series, right?
Yep, Survivor Series.
Okay. So yeah, for me coming in, I enjoyed it. It was interesting that you said because how long have they been doing this pre-show thing before the pay-per-view? Has that been going on for years?
Yeah, it's been a few years now.
Okay.
Because I remember back in the years ago when they used to have like Velocity on Sundays. What was that other one? It was like a Heat,
Sunday Night Heat.
Sunday Night Heat. Those would be like the shows that they would run on Sunday, and those would be like basically the pre-shows before the pay-per-views. I used to be so mad watching it on like regular TV, and then like, all right, next SummerSlam's about to come up. Oh, you gotta have paid for it.
Yeah,
to see
I
it.
do remember that stuff. Yeah.
$59.99.
Yeah, oh, that is crazy to think they used to charge so much for pay-per-views.
Yes.
And then there's like, hey, you know what? Let's just bring it down super cheap. Get so many people involved. Yeah, it's working out for sure.
Times have changed.
So you guys kind of talked about the pre-show, and usually, to my knowledge, what I always thought the pre-show is you kind of put maybe a few, probably not like your A-list, right?
Yeah.
Right.
For the most part, you may have one good match, but usually you probably put in jobbers kind of stuff.
Yeah,
people.
just to give them some recognition.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, like to your point, Erskine, this was interesting to see two championships up, especially AJ. AJ has the what belt?
The United States.
States.
US. Yeah, it was interesting to see him in the pre-show, not being a main event. Because from the little that I do watch wrestling, usually I see him later in the night.
Yes.
For the most part, so that was interesting that they put that on pre-show. I guess that was maybe to give you like a tease of, hey, we're serious. You're going to get good matches if we're starting off with something like that.
Yeah, it's the thing is with the kickoff show, since AEW became this phenomenon, the WWE has gotten better with their product. You notice other wrestlers that has not been used are being used now, and with the kickoff show, it's kind of like those throwaway type matches or whatever. But it's not viewed that way. They're trying not to have it viewed that way now. So that's why they put, in my opinion, from the business standpoint, they put AJ and Cedric Alexander in there, and they put the cruiserweight title in there. Now I can go on a tangent about the cruiserweight division.
Go ahead.
You
So-
watch a lot of the cruiserweights?
Not a whole lot.
So is
But
that 205 Live? Is that the same?
205 Live.
Okay.
But in my opinion, no one has done the cruiserweights like Eric Bischoff and WCW Nitro done the cruiserweights, because there were pretty much all the good matches of Nitro, and then of course you had the big names at the end of the night. Even Bill Goldberg even stated, he said, you know what, I even watch Nitro for the cruiserweights. I don't watch it for us. I watch it for them, because you had all these cruiserweights that are now world champions or former world champions. Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. He wasn't world champion, but he was up there. Ultimo Dragon, La Parka, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrero.
Parker with the chair. I remember
The
that.
chairman,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you know these guys by name, but WWE has not done well by cruiserweights. They tried the light heavyweight division way back when with Taka Michinoku and Brian Christopher, and those okay matches, but it wasn't Nitro cruiserweights.
Right.
And now they try 205 Live. From my experience, I went to SmackDown here in Columbia a few years back, and they taped 205 Live after SmackDown.
Okay.
And what I noticed, everybody, I could say maybe 60% of the audience leaves.
Right.
And then now you got a half-empty stadium, and you got 205 Live wrestlers just putting their heart out there.
Right.
And they're doing good matches too. But my thing is, I think 205 Live will go mix it up with the NXT brand so they can get more
I sure
recognition.
hope so,
I
especially
think
them
that's
coming on USA.
So
Exactly.
NXT is like a different stable from 205 Live.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
It's viewed, before it was viewed as a developmental brand to train and groom wrestlers to get to the main roster like Raw and SmackDown. But since it blew up the way it did,
Yeah.
it's now viewed as a brand
Okay.
and not developmental. And that's why they're on USA. Coincidentally, the same time slot as AEW. Because AEW,
Wednesday Night Wars, baby.
Wednesday Night Wars.
So the wrestling wars are coming back.
Yeah,
Seems
they
like
are coming back.
that's probably big overall for both brands. I think that's gonna be huge. So let's talk about this match, the first match, the cruiserweight match with Drew Gulak, and then I don't know the two other. I guess they're like lucha style wrestlers.
I know it was Drew Gulak, one of the guys from Lucha House Party. Let me see, get a reminder what his name was.
So talking about them, what did you guys think of that match overall? Because one thing that I'm started to gravitate towards, I really like the wrestler Ricochet a lot.
Yes.
Just seeing him high flying around. I don't know what his storyline is right now because again, I don't watch week to week. But I feel like he should be in a title match for a cruiserweight. So what do you guys think about that? I know I put a lot of just go however you want.
I have a thing about the cruiserweights. It's not like I don't take them serious because it's a different type of style match when you have the cruiserweight match. But honestly, Ricochet has kind of like surpassed that in a way.
Okay.
Because he was North American.
He was North American champion for a
Yeah.
while.
Okay.
NXT.
I know him and Aleister Black, they were going for the tag team titles, like basically all of them. That run they had right before WrestleMania. I don't want to see Ricochet as a cruiserweight because I feel like that kind of
He's bigger than that.
yeah.
Okay.
It boxes him in.
Okay. So then focusing on these three, what do you think of the match overall?
I mean, a little bit I saw because I mostly started watching maybe like halfway through AJ and Cedric. But from this, I thought it was good. Hit all the basics like how a cruiserweight match should be: flying around, hitting each other, everybody like coming together, use spots in a triple threat match. I figured Drew was going to win because they haven't done anything really great with Lucha House Party. The last big thing Lucha House Party did was basically getting thrown around by Lars Sullivan, and we don't even see Lars Sullivan no more. Lince Dorado, I haven't watched a lot of 205 Live, so I don't really know who he was.
Lince Dorado is a Lucha Libre style wrestler, and it's no surprise. Those three guys put on the show. Drew Gulak actually stole the pinfall, as a typical triple threat, throw a guy out,
Right.
you pin. But they put on a serious show. They were doing some amazing things. And it seems like they're taking the handcuffs off these guys because I go back to AEW. Before AEW was even there, WWE was the premier show, right? So it's certain things that you see wrestlers do outside of WWE, and once they come to WWE, they don't do it anymore. And it's because they got the handcuffs.
Because it's like, and this might not be a great analogy, but almost like the NFL wants people to conform a certain way, kind of like WWE wants you to conform, and like
It's the
these are
Patriot way.
Yeah.
Patriot.
The
You
Patriot.
gonna be in this or not?
I'm over here handling all that.
Then you do that. Stop talking. You Anakin right now. You don't talk. All right. So
That's 'cause he doesn't want to.
so yeah, the WWE has their own brand. They want you to follow the rules and stuff, but they're kind of letting them they realize giving them their own individuality kind of helps the brand.
Definitely.
One thing that I saw that was really cool was I never put two and two together, but just to see if you really watch the match, you can kind of see almost the nonverbal cues that they have with each other.
Yeah.
For like, you'd be like, hey, I need you to set me up to do this because the one guy flew over the top rope. Drew Gulak picked somebody up on the shoulders, and they jumped and hit both people. You can just see them kind of looking back and forth, it was just kind of the unwritten rules that they had was really cool to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It was a show to see. And to boost up the Cruiserweight division, I would definitely have that on the main show.
Okay.
Because just the level of athleticism that they showed.
All right. So Drew Gulak keeps his title. Let's go to AJ Styles and Alexander Cedric.
My boy.
So
I really thought Cedric was going to win this title
because he was home.
Yeah.
Not exactly just because he was home, but I thought it was just like the right time, like that's what they were building towards. And honestly, in my opinion, AJ's U.S. run hasn't been that great. Besides just the quick feud he really had with Ricochet.
Yeah.
But I mean, though that match right there was good because you got two great, athletes, two great performers facing off, not necessarily because we fighting because the U.S. title is so important. AJ, it's some superstars to me that, of course, they don't really need a title to feel important. AJ is one of those people, and with Survivor Series coming up, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go with him facing Nakamura. It might be good but they're both heels, so I don't know how WWE wants to do that. But honestly, the match was short. They did a lot in just that short time period. Yeah. Which was dope.
Okay.
I think the match was very good, and as expected, I thought Cedric Alexander was going to win the title, but I don't think it's his time quite yet. According to Busted Open on the Bully Ray.
What is Busted Open?
Busted Open is a SiriusXM radio show that Bully Ray and
that you may know as Bubba Ray from the Dudley Boys.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he stated, actually Cedric Alexander was actually on that show.
Okay.
And he spoke highly of AJ Styles, saying AJ Styles was one of the guys that kind of got him, saying, "Hey, I want to wrestle." And
Okay.
AJ actually walked up to him and said, "Hey, you want?" And he saw his then girlfriend, now wife. And, AJ walked up to him and said, "Hey, you're gonna marry her." And later on,
That's
he married her.
That's cool.
Ariel Monroe. But
Cedric was like, AJ, I want you to marry us.
yeah,
AJ would have flipped that hair back. Sure, brother.
yeah, soccer mom here. It's like,
I'm not afraid to admit that AJ Styles might have the top 3 hair in all of
In all the wrestling?
right now.
yes, he does have the soccer mom hairstyle. So it is crazy, and he builds off of that too. And with him and the club together, what happened after the match what makes it more unique.
So does that mean AJ won?
AJ won. He retained the title.
And did he win cleanly? He won cleanly, right? Didn't he?
I'm trying to remember.
Because the other guys didn't come until after the match.
They came after. Yeah, he hit the Styles Clash, and that was it.
Yeah. So do we think this is going to be a longer feud? Is Cedric Alexander going to be feuding with AJ Moore?
I mean, they could bring it back, and Cedric could be like, "Man, y'all beat me up afterwards. That wasn't right. I want to get back at you." They could still possibly drag this on some more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can definitely drag it on.
Okay. So we had 2 matches.
And that's
So,
the end of the pre-show.
That was in the pre-show. How many matches are normally in a pre-show?
Usually one.
Just one.
Usually.
Okay.
And
Right
then
now
a lot of talking with the announcers, kind of setting you up to be like, I don't know who the female announcer was. She's like, "Hey, you need to get this service." Like, I do need to get this service. You're right.
What's that?
Renee Young?
Was that? It wasn't Renee Young. It was another. It was
Charlie?
another girl. Maybe
Yeah,
I think
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah. I was like, "You're right. I do need to get this service." So we're off to the first match of Clash of Champions, which was
Raw tag team.
Raw
titles.
tag team title.
Raw Tag Team titles.
Which
Okay.
is very predictable.
Yeah, I figured that Dolph and Robert.
Robert Roode.
So
Yeah.
Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman teaming up against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yes.
Okay. So for me, what I gathered from this was Braun and Seth kind of had this beef going on because they had been going back and forth about wanting to fight for the WWE Championship.
Yeah,
or
Universal. Yeah,
Universal title.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of weird. It was hard for me to buy in that this match was going to be important because they don't really care. I mean, you can say you care about the tag team title, but I feel like you want that
The
single
Universal
title
title,
more.
yeah.
That,
A
'cause
lot
that
of
has
people
more
would say
weight.
that, at least especially on Raw, the tag team titles haven't felt exactly that important. So we figured just with Dolph and Roode just coming together just like this, if it was going against anybody else, I figured like the champions would retain. But since Braun and Seth got the match later on tonight, we figured they was going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very predictable.
Because I almost feel like they didn't do enough build up. Because I feel like what they wanted to do was say, "Oh, there's tension between them, and that's going to lead to the singles match because they lost."
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like they built that up enough to show that between the two. It's just kind of like they hit them, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great match though, because all
Yeah.
of them great performance.
Yeah. It was a good match nonetheless. I mean, Robert Roode. Or Bobby
Yeah,
Roode.
talk to me about him because I'm
Bobby.
unfamiliar with him.
So, he was with TNA with James
Okay.
Storm.
Okay.
And it's on the tip of my tongue, the name of the tag team. Beer Money.
Okay.
Beer Money. So he was like the pretty boy type, the money, and James Storm was all about the beer. So they was like one of the best tag teams I ever seen, honestly. And Bobby Roode, or Robert Roode now is what we call him. He's very good at tag team, and he's very good as a singles guy too, because he was a TNA World Champion before, and then he was an NXT champion in NXT. When he went to main roster, he wasn't utilized very well.
Okay.
He wasn't utilized for his talents at all, because that guy is a future world champion all day.
Is this his first title since he's called up to the main roster?
No. He held the title before. I think he held he held
US?
tag team titles before. I want to say the U.S. title, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. But I knew Dolph and Robert was going to win this match. That was just, it was in the cards. Everybody in the stadium knew. Any wrestling fan, in the back know. They know this.
Okay.
But Dolph Ziggler,
Yeah.
they deserve those. They deserve those titles, and they can make those titles look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next we had this is what was next? Kind of like a little interview.
Yeah, Becky did her promo, which was really good to
Yes.
me. She said, what else she said? She was like, since WrestleMania, I've main evented WrestleMania. I won the Royal Rumble. I made the cover of
ESPN
ESPN.
ESPN,
and the game.
and the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, she didn't. I don't think she said, but she just just got engaged. And she said, "What has Sasha Banks done? Dyed her hair." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
That's how you set some good stuff up."
So how do these like interstitials work with you guys? How do you feel about these little interview like segments between matches? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Because to me, I like how they start, but they always just seem to end the same way, where the interviewer
Scripted.
well, yeah, scripted, but also like the wrestler goes off and then they just leave on a single shot of the person who's doing the interview, and it just kind of cuts. And I feel like there's something missing, or I don't know what.
I mean, it's been done like that for so long now,
Yeah.
so I guess we're used to
Just
it.
used to
but
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just like when it doesn't feel scripted, like when it's just like them speaking from the heart. Like those words she said, I mean, she might have kind of like, written that down beforehand, but it felt genuine from the heart.
Right.
Like, for a good example, when Raw just had like the Raw reunion, Stone Cold didn't need to have a script to come out there and just talk about stuff in that ring, and everybody just ate it up because it felt genuine. We like saying your catchphrase is one thing, but if you just say like blah 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 blah, like for Braun Strowman, gonna get these hands, like.
Yeah.
I had never heard that before, and that made me think of Nick Jones. When he said get these hands, I'm like, oh, that's Nick Jones.
That was
Great.
Nick Jones.
Shout out to Nick Jones. Get these hands. But okay, so we're past that. Then we're on to just Bailey and Charlotte.
Yeah,
Bayley and
SmackDown's
Charlotte.
Women's Championship match, which I want to know how you felt about it.
Well, it was pretty quick. I would
Very
definitely
quick.
say that. But
And was that part of the storyline of them making it a quick match?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
I think it goes into they're trying to turn Bailey heel now.
yeah,
That's why Bailey took the cover off the bottom
turnbuckle.
rope. Yeah, turnbuckle. Get Charlotte hit with it. Does the hurry up 1, 2, 3 count. Boom, out of there.
Ran, took a belt, and just darted. And then
She has this. Her gimmick or thing is she said she wants to be a role model for the young kids, but it seems to be kind of productive with her kind of cheating to win the match.
Yeah.
But I guess in her twisted wrestler logic, that makes sense. Like, you got to win by any means necessary. I don't know.
I think on a heels type standpoint, what she's saying, she's speaking a little bit of truth.
Okay.
And okay, I'm the SmackDown Women's Champion, right? You got Becky Lynch as the Raw Women's Champion, but you're giving Becky all this attention, but you're not giving me this attention. But I bust my hump to actually get to this point, and this title is just as important as the Raw title.
Okay.
So, wasting like I'm trying to show you a role model. Like I hug kids and this, that, and the third. Charlotte, she's not a role model.
Right.
She gonna cut corners.
Right.
Yeah.
And Charlotte do not backtrack from that. She's like, I do
Yeah.
what I can.
Yeah.
Like I do it. But if it's in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Charlotte is from,
Right.
and you pull this underhanded tactic, and the match ended so quickly and she ran out, perfect heel move.
Okay.
That's the thing with WWE too. Like when the wrestlers in their hometown, they usually don't win.
No.
When we saw SummerSlam, Trish lost to Charlotte, right?
Yes,
I
she did.
think, and that was in her hometown of Toronto or whatever.
Yeah.
Side note, how tall is Charlotte Flair? She just seems to dominate
She's
over all
gotta
the
be
other
at least
women.
6.
I think she's like maybe 5'10".
Okay, and I guess the other women could just be shorter. That's true.
Yeah.
But so give me a little backstory in terms of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch.
You better ask about the 4 horsewomen.
Yes,
Yes.
Bailey, and I guess Sasha Banks.
I guess what it seems like, they're not solely responsible, but it's been a lot of attention on them for kind of evolutionize. Is that the right term?
Revolutionize the change.
Revolutionize.
whatever.
Yeah, of changing the women's wrestling, women's division, and when you think about it, respect is due to them. Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, and Becky have put on a lot of great matches. Not just within that clique, but within other people to
other
elevate the game.
I mean, hot take. Me and Ursula were talking about it earlier. My favorite match tonight was Becky and Sasha.
Yeah.
That was my
Is that
favorite match.
That to me, that's my favorite match too.
Yeah. Just
might
the
be
work
my
they put in.
favorite.
I don't know. They were definitely outshining the men for sure. I think.
You know, I might say Roman and Rowan might have been my favorite match. We'll get to that.
Okay.
All right. Which that match was a little puzzling. What the placement? was kinda
I have a
puzzling.
question
But
about
we get
when we get to that question. I ask
We
both
get
of you
there.
guys. All right, so with Bailey won. She cheated. Same stayed. The belt stayed the same.
Yeah.
They moved on to a SmackDown tag team
Yeah.
I
The
thought
Revival
New Day was gonna keep their title.
versus New Day. I really like the New Day. Just their positivity.
Yeah.
They just seem
positive
like genuinely
vibes.
nice guys,
Yeah.
and I just like just they're just fun to be around. It seems like they would just be fun people to hang out with. And the audience is still loving it, which is great. So, what do you guys think about this Revival versus New Day?
Well, considering the fact that New Day had held the tag team titles for so many times, and they broke the longest reigning tag team championship reign, they broke that record. You know, I think it was rightfully so to pass it on to the Revival because behind closed doors, the Revival has been frustrated about how they was being used. And again, I go back to AEW. You know, they was thinking about going out the door.
Okay.
They was thinking about leaving, and then now they are the tag team champions at this point, and they are a very good tag team. If you ever watch NXT takeovers where they were involved, you will see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like they are very good at what they do. So rightfully so. I think they rightfully deserve those tag team championships.
Okay.
Very good match too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying you felt you got surprised by New Day not?
Yeah, I just thought that because like we said before, the revival has been not as used as they should. So I figured they just was gonna keep the titles on the New Day. But I mean, I just hope that the Revival get good tag team matches for this with them having the belts now. But honestly, I don't know, man.
The thing that confused me a little bit was how they took so long as far as like pinning, and they pulled the tights off Xavier Woods' knees, stuff like that. And I'm like, man, y'all could have just pinned the guy.
Yeah, that seemed like a weird move to.
Yeah.
Leroy left us, y'all.
Yeah.
Falling on the floor like a big dummy. All right.
He said he was going to the store. I don't know if he's gonna be back.
Right. So they took off the knee brace. They ripped up the tights. It just seemed like a lot. It seemed like the match was already over. So I didn't know why they were working on this whole knee angle.
Maybe some storytelling to be like, you know what, y'all went the extra mile with this, so we're gonna have to get y'all back.
Yeah, they did work his knee on SmackDown.
Okay.
A few weeks prior. So.
But to me, it seems like the logical conclusion would be that maybe somehow Xavier comes and helps Kofi later. After because you're worried about whether or not the knee's going to give, so maybe he comes and does something with that. I feel like you attacked the knee, there wasn't really a payoff. I don't know.
But decent match nonetheless.
Yeah. Okay. So what was up next?
Next, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Yes, those still exist. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, a.k.a. Fire and Desire.
Fire and Desire.
Light the fire.
As you know, what the most entertaining thing to me before that match was the interview with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and you see R-Truth holding this long mic, and
so y'all gotta tell me. Say your thing, and then I got a question about R-Truth. But go ahead.
Okay, so Alexa Bliss being Alexa Bliss, she is phenomenal on the mic.
She's good on the mic.
What got me?
Is she the one that was the Harley Quinn cosplay?
Yeah. So what got me was it was an elimination chamber match, right? And I think she won, and she cut a promo. She cut that promo, right? And the promo was a babyface promo, and she was a heel, and the crowd loved it, right? And then as soon as they did it, she turned it around, and the crowd was like, "Man, I just got stumped." Like she worked the crowd that well.
What she said something like I'm so happy, to have this opportunity or to have this chance. And I just want to say, it was something she was saying with you guys, I could have done this without y'all. It was just on me and stuff.
Yeah.
She turned it that quick.
And then now you see her on the mic, and she's like, "Yes, R-Truth is in the back doing an interview with me. Everybody, come get him. He's holding the 24/7 championship."
So what is this belt, 24/7 championship?
Do you remember the old hardcore championship?
I was about to ask, I remember hardcore because I remember Mankind and everybody, whatever.
Yeah. This is basically PG rating for it.
Okay.
Yeah, PG belt
24/7.
And the idea is it can just be defended whenever.
I mean, I've seen people get pinned on a plane. I've seen people get pinned on the show. When they did a Fox Sports show when they was doing NFL commentary, one of the commentators actually pinned some guy to get the belt, and then he got pinned. And a basketball player, I forgot his name.
Some guy from the Celtics, right?
From the Celtics, yeah. Okay. He pinned the guy. He got the belt. He got pinned. He lost the belt.
Okay.
So
it's just fun.
Yeah.
Whatever.
R-Truth pinned a pregnant, what's her name?
Maria Kanellis?
Yeah, Maria Kanellis.
You pinned a pregnant woman?
Yeah.
In the OBGYN, right? She got the belt. Yeah. She's like, "You're not going to touch a pregnant lady." That was her defense. And she was basically browbeating her husband. and she was just laying down, like about to get checked out, and then truthful, I think he was dressed up.
Yeah,
or
he
something
dressed
like that.
as a doctor.
And then he kind of like just pinned her, and then all right, I got the belt. I'm out.
All right, I like that. I like
Honestly,
that.
R-Truth in this belt has been one of the best things in WWE. I feel like almost like this ever since it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly.
I do like that because that paid off into this match.
Yeah, it did pay off in
With
this match.
this match was cool.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. I liked everything they did. Again, the women working phenomenal. Not the best women's match we saw, but it was definitely a good one for sure.
Yeah.
And then, so Alexa Bliss was with Nikki Cross. Tell me a little bit about Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross, I know she's of course like a lot of other wrestlers done more in NXT. She got called up to the main roster. We thought she was going to be with this group called Sanity, but we haven't seen Sanity in months.
Yeah, I think one of the guys actually left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was like with that group, but Alexa Bliss basically been doing her own thing. I mean, not Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross. Then she got with Alexa Bliss, which, you know, of course, they won their tag team titles. And I mean, I guess it's been a good thing. It's been working so far.
Yeah.
Because Alexa Bliss is good on the mic, and I wouldn't exactly say Nikki's good on the mic.
Nah, she's okay on the mic. I think one of the things, the barriers that WWE has is when they have foreign wrestlers come over, it may not resonate well with, you know, the American crowd. But I mean, I love Nikki. You know, you see that persona change whenever she goes through go through the curtain and she kind of like just runs. Originally, that was her persona in the back, in the front, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then now they switched it up a little bit where she's a little bit more calm until she gets to the ring, and then she goes
And
crazy.
then she kind of snaps a little
Yeah,
bit.
and then she
Okay.
snaps.
They definitely like dolled her up a
Yeah.
bit more now
They
since
did.
she's been with Alexa.
Okay.
And honestly, when R-Truth came in, like, disturbing this match, okay, yeah, it's kind of funny, but now you're just reminding me again that exactly about how serious you take these women tag team titles. Like, you don't really treat these women.
It's almost like give them their own time to shine. Don't try to put in a gimmick. Just let them wrestle type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Want to give a shout out to Ray Sean. I see he was he's chatting so far. Guys, whoever's watching, feel free to chat, ask us questions. We got wrestling experts here. I'm just a novice, but I'll ask the questions that you want to know. So shout out to Ray Sean. So next match.
Yeah.
This match, they kept the titles,
Yeah,
right?
They retained
Nikki
the
Cross,
titles.
Alexa.
Can you see them losing them titles anytime soon?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Yeah.
Not at the moment.
So for the layman, it feels like the big news coming up is that SmackDown is going to Fox,
It
right?
is.
And does that mean there's going to be a brand reshuffling? Is that's what I'm hearing?
There will be a draft.
A draft? Okay.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
going to reshuffle everything. They announced it actually during NFL game.
Okay, got it.
There will be a draft. So that's
I
going to be
did-
interesting. And I know who's going to go to Fox too. I got a pretty good idea
Okay.
who's going to be on Fox.
Ooh, hot takes. What you got? You think going to find?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I can see that.
Brock Lesnar is definitely going over there. Probably Ronda Rousey.
I was like, where is Rhonda?
She took time off
Okay.
after WrestleMania because there was rumors circling that she wanted to have a family, that she wanted to have a kid,
Okay.
but she might come back. But this is the premiere show. This is the first show on Fox. So
Right.
they're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this thing. So you're going to have big names. Now, to make this thing go over, it will behoove you to get The Rock because it is SmackDown. This is his show,
Right.
technically. So to have him open the show, like put over every single superstar there,
Yeah.
that will boost the ratings up because it's the same week that AEW airs on Wednesday.
I would love to see
So
that.
Okay.
if something to
I
see,
don't think he'll come back though.
I hope so.
I feel like they bring him back
Just for
every
the
once in a
promo.
while just to do some mic work, right?
Yeah, just for the mic work. We don't even need him to wrestle. Just put over SmackDown.
I feel like Rock is too caught up with celebrating Hobbs and Shaw and working on ballers to come back. But I don't know. Vince may write that check and I'll be like, you know what? Let me raise this eyebrow one more time.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we at? We're at Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
The Miz and Shinsuke Nakamura.
I thought this should have been on the pre-show
You think so?
instead of AJ and Cedric.
True. You know,
I didn't feel like any story was really told to me. Sami Zayn, I guess, is working with Shinsuke.
yes.
That's cool. When correct me if I'm wrong, but when Shinsuke first came, people were going crazy because of stuff he was doing, like in Japan and,
Yes.
and the Japanese
Yes.
circuit.
Him and AJ.
Yeah. I didn't really see much of that in this match. I don't feel. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. I didn't. The match seemed kind of tame.
Yeah, it's
compared to other stuff we had seen.
definitely not Knox's best match.
Yeah, it
One of
wasn't the best match. It wasn't the worst neither. But I think the story really is about Sammy,
Okay.
doing what he's doing, and I don't know who told Shinsuke to come out there with that red cape. But
That was weird.
So-
That's like-
So random.
I don't know, was he going for like an effeminate look or whatever? It just I had never seen
he
that
looked like
character from him
Dracula from
before.
Castlevania.
Something looked weird. It just seemed off. I don't know if he was going for a new. This was a new character or what, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a decent match. Shinsuke won naturally.
Mhm.
I mean, he hasn't worn a singles title, in a while.
Okay.
Honestly.
The
And
last
we
one
had
he had was the U.S. title, right?
right, and then that was kind of short lived. But I hope he holds this Intercontinental title for a while. I like the Miz as a babyface because he's trying
Yeah.
to be a babyface character. So
Is he done? Is he and the feud with him and Shane McMahon done?
Yeah,
I guess
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's kind of shifted over to
Kevin
Shane,
Owens.
yeah, Shane
Okay,
versus
because he
Kevin
fired Kevin Owens, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fight.
Fired. Yeah. I always love that whenever a wrestler gets fired. It's like, what does that really mean?
You're fired.
Yeah. It's like whatever.
Two events.
I do want to say I hope that this whole thing with Sammy managing Shinsuke turns to a thing where like Shinsuke loses the title to someone, he blames Sammy, and then that starts a feud, and then we get as good of a match as we've seen with Shinsuke and Sammy that they had back in NXT.
Yeah, I hope so.
I would love for that to be the
I'm
build
looking
to
for
that.
a KO Chris Jericho type thing going, where somebody
see
turns
that.
on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta turn on somebody. That heel turn's coming.
All right. So next up, we had Raw Women's Championship.
Right.
My best match of the night. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch.
My girl Sasha.
That was really just phenomenal stuff they were doing. They went up into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha Banks got mustard on her. Sure, why
Yeah,
not? It's
yeah.
wild.
Ooh, that was blue hair.
Yeah.
And
And
it
I
was
noticed she's kind of like, and then when she was down, she kind of did this with her hair. She's like, oh, it's crapping in my ear.
Oh,
It's
interesting,
kind of
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Overall, so
Who did y'all expect to win?
Sasha.
That's how I was going.
Well, actually, I expected a no contest. Actually, I did expect that.
okay. Yeah, I didn't think Becky was gonna lose it because like they are pushing Becky and Seth right now, just from the outside because they're like the power couple right now. They seem to be in love. Like you said, they just got engaged.
Right.
So they're just pushing them more and more. So I feel like there's still more to be mined out of that with continuing to push Becky.
True.
Yeah. The thing is with Sasha, she was gone since WrestleMania.
Right.
And there was a lot of rumors circling about her, showing out, that they dropped the titles to someone that really didn't deserve it, that type thing, and she just took time off. Where now it's on Chronicle, WWE Network.
I saw that because
Yeah.
they showed it right after this. I watched it. It was nice.
I gotta
Right.
watch that.
I do wonder how much of it is how much of it is real versus script because they say it's real, but it's still produced by WWE. So
My thoughts exactly.
they get the final say, but it seemed genuine what she was saying.
Yeah,
for
I
the most
mean,
part.
she's a no holds barred type of person. She will say how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
That I know for a fact is Sasha. Just from hearing her on interviews and shows and stuff like that, she's that type. And
It's boss time.
exactly. So that whole situation with Paige, I know that beat her up because as a wrestler, when you feel responsible for getting someone hurt or ending a career, it beats you up inside. So, of course, she said she took some time off for mental, get her stuff right. And then to see her come back, the fans expect her to win this title because Bayley has a title, right?
Right.
And she's just coming back. But that's too predictable with them two. So just do it in no contest. I predict a Hell in a Cell match between them two. Because they start pulling out props and stuff during the match.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Hell in a Cell.
Okay, so side note, talk to me, and I don't know how much you guys would know about this. How do they decide? Because I know the ultimate decider is Vince, right, in terms of who's going to win a match.
Of course.
That's yeah. That's
Yeah.
Is that, do they know before the match, or do they find out during the match, or do you guys even know?
That's the funny thing with Vince. He could have had something planned maybe like a year out, and the day of he'd just be like, you know what? Nah, I'm switching it.
Okay,
Just because of crowd reaction.
okay. So, because essentially...
Montreal screw drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Calm
it's essentially... How are they communicating that to the people? Is it through the ref?
Yeah, you notice the earpiece?
Yeah. So the ref is Vince is essentially talking to the ref like, okay, this is what's going to happen in this.
He's
kind of
talking
thing.
to the announcers,
Okay.
like at the booth. If you ever notice like a slight pause and like in mid sentence, it's almost like Vince is in your ear.
Okay, gotcha.
I know.
This is your conscience.
Yeah, this is your conscience. Like
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
They might say some stuff in the ear that try to throw you off or something like that, or you can't say this or do this.
Yeah.
But most times people know who's gonna win what.
Okay.
But they can switch it at the last minute, right before you get out to the curtain. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, we're gonna switch this thing up.
Okay.
And it's up to the wrestlers to actually figure out how we're gonna make this finish.
How you gonna sell it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, how you gonna sell it?
That's another thing that I don't think people give wrestling credit for is the athleticism that these people put on.
Right.
Because I think like you could boil it down and say these are like glorified stunt men and stunt women. And to a point, I get it because they are doing stunts, but it's so much more than that. Just what they're putting their body.
But even
through.
with regular stunt men and women, you got to give those people credit. They
Yeah.
be falling off stuff. They be getting hit.
Many of them
thrown
have
around,
died
tossed.
recently. A stunt woman died in the Deadpool 2. And somebody also died on
I did hear
Fast
about
and
that.
Furious, or one of those movies.
They was
Some
Fast and
piece of
Furious.
them,
Yeah,
man.
Fast and Furious. But yeah, it's incredible the stuff they put themselves through. So, talk to me about the announcing people, because it seemed like they had a cast of 3 people, right? They had
Yeah,
Michael
no.
Cole, Renee Young, and then the other guy.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves.
Yeah, and then the other one was Corey Graves and 2 other dudes.
Um,
What's up with them? Is that because one is like the Raw announce and the other is a SmackDown announce? Is that what it is? Okay, got
Yes,
it.
they switch it up sometimes.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's fine.
Uh,
It always freaks me out whenever they destroy the announce table,
Yeah.
but they're still able to announce. It's like, well, then how are you still announcing if you destroy the announce table?
That's magic.
That's the magic. I mean, it's cool. It's
heavy
fun.
things on the floor.
Yeah, it's cool.
But Becky won
Yeah, Becky won.
due to a disqualification. Well, I mean, no, not no. Sasha won.
Because
But
of this qualification.
due to
Yeah, so Becky had to keep her title.
Yeah.
Correct.
And Michael Cole had to say it to everybody because the ref never got to explain it.
Right.
Like that they were disqualified,
Yeah,
which
they need
that seemed
to-
like that was kind of, the ending
Yeah.
seemed kind of weird.
Yeah.
They don't
Overall.
need to do that again.
Yeah.
They need to have like a valid, straight to the point. Like, okay, this is how this match ended. Only thing I didn't like about that match was like the weak chair shot that Becky gave the ref, like to basically knock him out so they can do all the running around and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, he was out for a while.
Yeah, they
He
could.
was gone for a long time.
He's just laying there like,
Yeah.
okay, Vince, when I gotta get back up? Oh, I'm done. You gonna have
Okay.
other refs come out? Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
yeah.
Take
I'll just
a nap.
roll out to the side then.
Yep.
I go get a hot dog. So next match, WWE Championship.
Stupid.
Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
So as somebody who, watches sparingly, they made it seem like this has been a match that's 10 years in the making.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you is it 10 years in the making?
Yeah.
You guys feel that way?
Because
They done drilled it in my head enough to where I feel that.
Okay.
when Kofi Kingston had the Jamaican persona,
Yes.
and,
boy.
and he actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
Randy Orton was the guy, and he didn't take a RKO properly. So you kind of hear Randy saying "stupid, stupid, stupid" like that, like you messed up. Randy had influence in the back, and it's been said that he was responsible for Kofi not getting the push that he was supposed to get, and he's now the WWE champion now as of last year. But I mean, this was like 10, 11 years gap.
Yeah.
Where he had the mid-card title here and there, maybe a tag title here and there, but he didn't quite get to the point he's supposed to get. So this was 10 years in the making, and perfect WWE, perfect storyteller. They can always go back and look at things,
Right.
and
They good for that.
they
They
really
can
good
cut
for that.
incredible packages with
They're
videos.
different.
I'd be like, man, this is great.
Because even with the whole thing where Randy was over the table and Kofi jumping off and smashing through the table, that was the same spot from 10 years ago.
Okay.
They just put them together, 10 years later, boom, boom,
Okay.
like that. But Kofi needed to win this match.
Okay.
He really did, and he did retain the title. So I enjoyed it.
It always, and again, Vince is the mastermind behind everything. What do we think? When is Kofi going to lose his title? Like, what is it going to take for Kofi to lose his title? Because everybody's loving Kofi as a champion.
He might lose it
What's the
to
next?
Brock Lesnar, maybe. He might. And that's just an educated guess, considering Fox is coming, and
Ooh,
Brock
I
Lesnar
can't see that.
is a big draw, and Brock can target Kofi. He can definitely do that. If not Brock, I'm not sure who.
Okay.
Maybe it will be Randy. Who knows?
Because when does SmackDown come to Fox? What's the exact date?
October something.
4th.
So it's going to happen before WrestleMania. Of course.
Yeah, it would be before WrestleMania. That's a definite. That is a definite.
What's the longest reign anybody's ever held on to for like a one reign before they lost it? Do you guys know? No, I'm putting you on the spot.
It's an old school wrestler actually.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about like back in the day where they didn't even
They held on titles for a few years.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They might drop them in Japan, but pick it up later.
Okay. Gotcha.
Kind of like that.
I would say the most recent one though probably is it AJ with the WWE title.
I would think CM Punk would be the longest one.
Oh yeah.
Because CM Punk held it for a year and some change.
Okay.
You don't see title reigns
But
like
he
that.
had the longest reign, but in recent memory,
Yeah.
he's the longest. He's the longest
So-
reigner.
What is this? A chat? What do we got?
So yeah, I would definitely say CM Punk, rightfully so, which kind of disappointed he didn't show up at AEW, but you know.
Yeah, he might be really done. Is him and AJ Lee still together?
Yes, they're still married.
Hmm.
They're actually still married.
Oh yeah, they are married.
They are still married. Now, I would definitely say CM Punk would be a big draw. Bruno Sammartino is the longest reigning. 4,040 days.
Woo!
Okay. So we got a comment here from who is this? Brett Seats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was underwhelming. I was unaware the King of the Ring finals weren't going to be finished until we got into Charlotte and heard someone talking about it in Whiskey River. Oh, because I guess he was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Charlotte
that's
Coliseum.
got it. Okay. New Day losing the titles this week was disheartening. The 24/7 title, my new favorite, not being defended in the ring was a huge disappointment. Becky Sasha finish was stupid. Should have had Bailey run in.
I don't think Baylor should have ran in.
Brett was saying that would help solidify the heel turn for Bailey.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I can
Definitely.
see
I agree with that. Yeah, and that finish was kind of odd. I will definitely agree with you on that standpoint.
But to me, Bailey doing a heelish thing just by herself makes it a bit more heelish instead of like Sasha influencing her. Like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
Bailey just doing this on her. Oh, okay, this is how she really feels. She's just not going along with what Sasha's doing. But
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah. Well, New Day losing titles, like I said, I wasn't the happiest with it, but I mean, New Day's won plenty of titles before, so
Definitely.
And then there's a little more, but I'll read it once we get to those matches on
And
this
it-
thing.
and
So I'll
it-
take a photo of this and you can have
And
it.
it's definitely not a slight against the New Day because they don't really need the titles really to be the New Day. You know, they are that trio, and they were given this gimmick, and they took it and ran with it, and made it their own. Made their own. They got cereal. They got all kinds of stuff. Xavier Woods got
Bootios.
Bootios.
Bootios and pancakes.
You know,
Man,
he got
I love it.
up, down, down with Xavier Woods, which I
Yeah.
watched that.
I watched that too. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Xavier Woods, if you ever see this, you're welcome to the show.
Friend of the show, Xavier
friend of
Woods.
the show.
Yeah, come
Austin Creed.
on. How much stuff you giving me?
Which I dig that. So yeah, so Bruno Sammartino is the longest reigning. I think he held the title for additional 7 years, 6 months. That's back in the day though.
Yeah, you
That's
ain't
back
never
in the
gonna
day.
see something like that happen again.
I know WCW kind of held that standard. NWA rather held that standard. If you were the NWA champion, which to me still that is the most important belt to me.
Then
Which
WWE
one?
Title,
The NWA title, 10
Okay.
pounds ago.
I can respect
Because
that.
if you held that title, you was somebody, and to beat that guy had to say, "Hey, that might be the next guy up." Like, and you held that title for a very long time, like for a year and some change. So it made it a very big thing for you to
It's on
beat
Instagram.
the NWA champion. That's the belt I want.
I would love to have that.
That's the belt I want. I actually held that belt. I actually held that belt.
That thing heavy.
Yeah, it actually is 10
Are
pounds.
they watching us or they just referring to the Facebook?
It's actually 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's I would love to have that belt. Man, we'll talk about belts after we finish our review and stuff.
But of course,
Yeah, so we got another comment. This is from Instagram. Somebody watching us now, but on YouTube. They're saying they prefer Japanese wrestling in JPW, All Japan, Stardom, all that kind of stuff.
yeah, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah.
And
I can respect
I think the consensus is the stuff out of there is probably higher overall. People seem to be more excited about that stuff.
Strong style.
Yeah.
It's strong style wrestling.
Yeah, and hey, if you guys want us to talk about that stuff, let us know in the comments on YouTube, and we'll reach out. You know, this is something we're trying new, bringing in wrestling experts over here. So if you guys want us to talk about more wrestling stuff, let us know, and then we'll get into other brands of wrestling. So
Yeah.
there we go.
I haven't seen a lot of New Japan wrestling, but just from like the history, like I looked at the history of the Bullet Club, and that's just like it's one of the dopest like factions of all time. Might be up there at least with DX and NWO in my opinion with like worldwide popularity.
Wrestle Kingdom, man. Wrestle Kingdom and I'll tell you like this. For the watchers out here, if you haven't seen New Japan Pro Wrestling, you watch the G1 Climax and you watch Wrestle Kingdom. G1 Climax is a tournament where you got A block and B block, and just because you lose a match doesn't mean you're out of the tournament.
Okay.
It's basically by points. So if you win, you got a certain amount of points. You got a tie or draw, a certain amount of points. Lose, you got 0 points. So depending who has the most points, you advance. You get up to the A and B block. So the winner of B block faces the winner of A block, and the winner of that may get a shot at the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Championship.
Okay.
But you got wrestlers from all over. Because even formerly Dean Ambrose, John Moxley was actually in it, and he's the current United States champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is
That's
very
a
unique.
beautiful belt too.
Yes, it's very good.
I want to give a shout out to Kenny Omega. I like his character because he's always
Yes,
doing anime
yes.
inspired stuff with his moves and stuff, which is great. I love
Yes.
that. And then he's with AEW now.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
He's one of the vice presidents or executive.
Yeah, he one of the executives. Actually, he had his hand in designing the AEW World belt.
Okay.
Him and Brandy.
Okay. So Kofi won. He won clean,
Yes. he
which
did.
is good. So there's probably, I mean, I'm sure they'll continue the match, but it was good that he won the match clean. Then there was a segment with King Booker.
King Booker.
What is this?
tell
Explain to
you
me
right
what
now.
this is. I don't get it.
Drop
What?
knowledge on him, bro.
Well, King Booker. So back in the day, he was with Harlem Heat, WCW, right?
Yeah.
So when WCW got bought out, Booker T ended up being one of those wrestlers that got acquired.
Him and Stevie Ray, right?
Him and Stevie Ray. But Stevie Ray was kind of like going out at
Okay,
that point,
got
training other wrestlers. But so he won King of the Ring, and he became King Booker.
Oh, okay.
So his wife Sharmell actually been part of the storyline too. So sometimes he was all regal, and he hold up the pinky like that, and he was a heel at that point.
Okay.
And then he was like cheating to win, and he held the world title for a while. And that segment last night is hilarious.
Okay.
I love
But-
that he could just always bring that back out and just do it
Yeah.
like it.
So to the people who knew, it meant something. Because me, I was just like, this is weird. What is
Yeah.
this?
Oh,
This just
yeah,
seemed
yeah.
random.
It was 3 different personas in one, really. 'Cause
Okay. Okay.
He went to tell me he didn't just say that. That was another persona he had. And can you dig that?
Yeah,
Now,
I
that was
remember
the
that.
first persona.
Right.
Now, the Street Profits, man, they are entertaining to me.
I love Street Profits.
Like, you can see them in the back. They're not involved in the main roster, but they just give you the play-by-play.
Yeah. Do they wrestle?
Yes.
Every time
Yeah.
I see them, they're always like doing comedy, and the commentary they do is fun. I just don't see them wrestle because I guess they're not doing pay-per-views
But
yet.
were they formerly NXT Tag Team Champions?
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
they were NXT Tag Team Champions for up until the most recent takeover.
Okay.
And then they lost the tag team championships. But still, it's one of those wrestlers that don't really need a championship to be who they are.
To still be popular and whatever.
Yeah, they hit everything on pop culture, like the pause, the kind of like stop, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then with Booker T, so they're very
Okay.
entertaining.
So we got to the next to last match was Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan should thank Roman Reigns for giving him one of the best matches of his career.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did this happen?
Okay.
Oh, this is a long story. Bro.
Well,
You take it.
there was a
Or let me phrase that by saying I know there was a mystery of who attacked who or whatever. Fine. Why was it on Clash of Champions? There was no belt. What is
Thank-
happening? Why is he here?
Okay, I thought about this morning too.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this on the show. To say it is Clash of Champions, you don't need this match. You can have backstage segments. You can have like a backstage brawl or something like that. Because if every championship is, presented, you should not have a singles match that don't have a championship
Right.
involved.
If this ain't The Rock in it, I don't. Nope.
No,
They're not.
So,
They're not. Yeah.
I mean,
This would have been a good at least start on the pre-show.
they
I mean, if
could've been
anything, yeah, maybe.
But,
It was
but
weird.
the storyline is a little bit big for it to be on the kickoff show. But
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
it was a good match nonetheless. I would definitely say that. Now the surprise with Luke Harper,
That boy Luke came back.
So this is part of the Wyatt family, right?
I won't say the Wyatt family because
Oh, okay.
Bray is doing his own thing.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Ooh, I can't wait.
but there was rumors circling with Luke Harper. Luke Harper actually asked for his release some months ago.
Mhm.
That's why you haven't seen him for a while.
Yes,
Okay.
I know. I thought he was
Right.
gone.
But he wasn't granted his release. I think the last wrestler who was granted a release because they asked for it was Ty Dillinger, now known as Shawn Spears.
Okay.
But after that, they didn't grant his release. So now I guess they figure out a way to utilize him now. And then here comes Luke Harper.
But so who was Eric Rowan? Give me some backstory on him.
Rowan was introduced as part of the Wyatt family.
Okay.
Him, Luke, and Bray.
Okay.
Him and Luke became tag team champions for a period. They was powerhouses. I mean, they was doing some phenomenal matches. One of the dream matches that the crowd actually really wanted was the Wyatt family versus the Shield. We did get that, but not in the capacity that we wanted it.
Okay.
But then Eric Rowan became a babyface. Kind of broke off from Luke Harper, and they had a match against each other, and they didn't really gain any traction because Luke got hurt, and it was just all Rowan. And then fast forward, Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and then now you got Luke and Eric again.
Yeah.
And
As
so
the Bludgeon Brothers.
The Bludgeon Brothers. That's what it was called.
was the thing was that Eric was kind of Daniel Bryan's muscle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but this was supposed to tell us that he's his own man. He can do whatever he wants. He did. Like, I didn't really buy into this. I didn't care.
Daniel Bryan tried to sell it as much as he could.
Yeah.
He did the best he could.
Okay.
I hate liars. He slapped the mess out of it.
Yeah, he slapped the fire out of him. I mean, like, many times.
Okay.
Roman,
Okay.
I had nothing. I had nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Shout out to Daniel Bryan, man, for just working with anything.
Yeah. Okay. It was cool.
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked about it was actually no, this is the next match. So Rowan won
Yeah.
because it was a no DQ,
Yeah, no DQ
and that's
match.
how Luke came in and kicked him out of nowhere.
WWE was
Um,
just like, did you enjoy that match with a former Shield member facing a big, tall, hairy man? We're going to give it to you
Here's
again.
another one
We're
coming
giving
up.
it to you again.
Yeah. So we got the last match of the night, WWE Championship.
Main event.
Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, and I guess what it seemed like what the announcers were trying to sell was that Braun is more intense than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because they kept making it seem like he's kicking out of all these finishers.
Yeah.
And he's kicking out on one counts. He's not even going up to two.
How many curb stomps did Seth give him? Like 5?
I think 4.
4 or 5, yeah.
4
So,
and a pedigree.
Yeah, he brought pedigree back.
what do you think of this match?
It was a good match.
I thought it was good too.
I'm going to tell you right now, Braun Strowman is one of the most athletic big men I ever seen.
Yeah.
When he got on that top rope, I was like, oh no, don't fall.
I thought he was going to slip.
I was scared. I was
But
like,
he
oh.
kept his composure, but
Like,
as soon as
oh.
he slipped, he said, let me hurry up and jump right now.
Like, oh, gotta go. Yeah, but yeah, that was cool. I almost thought they were gonna do something like I don't remember who it was. Maybe somebody had like a suplex the Big Show off the top rope and the whole ring broke or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen when he came up. Like that was like this is gonna be crazy. But yeah, overall it was a cool match. Just seeing them.
They teased it, though. They teased it. Like, Seth Rollins actually was going to lift Braun up. And I was like, I
Like,
mean,
that's
do I really
your back
want
is gonna be
that?
done.
Yeah.
That just seems.
That thing going.
I was like, oh.
Like, I wouldn't want to see that. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be amazing to see, but
Yeah.
it might have been a little too unrealistic in a way. But
So he beat the monster.
He did.
yeah,
He beat him.
the
Took
monster.
him a while.
Slayed
Beat
the
him
beast.
clean.
Slayed
Yes.
the monster.
Yes, the beast and the monster.
I wonder that they gonna make
And
that
then-
thing that Monster Slayer.
This is Bray Wyatt now, who's the Fiend.
Woo!
The Fiend.
Fiend came and said, Seth, I'm coming for you.
So I've only seen the Fiend twice. I saw him when he fought Finn Balor,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
and then this time.
Actually, you saw him more than that. Actually,
Have I?
yes, you have. I'm pretty sure you have.
He's been in other pay-per-views?
Well, not even pay-per-views. Here's why I say that.
Okay.
You know how they show segment where the wrestlers going towards the ring
Yeah.
and they walk in the back. You ever notice the puppets kind of like pop their head up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bray.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
they'll pop their head up in the background. They do it like very subtle,
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Which is how it should be.
how it should be.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are happy with the way it ended?
Yeah,
Yes.
with the Fiend. Yeah,
That's one of the best endings for a pay-per-view I've seen in a
this
while.
is all Bray Wyatt. This is his idea.
Okay.
This is all him. Like his persona, his character, and all that.
Yeah.
And it's rightfully so that you don't see him every week,
Right.
and that's intentional
Mm-hmm.
because when he shows up, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
It may not necessarily mean he want to attack Seth Rollins because he was attacking people at random.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, he was like, was it Mick Foley,
Attacked Mick Foley. He
Uh,
attacked Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler?
Um,
I think he attempted Booker T. I think,
I don't remember.
but he dropped subtle hints. He even talked about his past personas. You know, in his
The
Promo.
video things, whatever.
Yeah, in his promo
Okay.
segments.
Because has the Fiend grabbed the mic yet?
Yes.
He hasn't grabbed the mic.
No, I mean not talking as the Fiend, but
Okay.
as Bray Wyatt in the
Got it.
Pee Wee Herman type.
Okay,
setting.
got it.
Those Firefly Funhouse segments are just the best.
Yes.
They creep me out, but I guess it's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's like this is so weird, but okay. So that was the show. Overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts, I probably give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we already seen Randy versus Kofi before.
Correct.
Is this the first time we seen Cedric versus AJ?
Yes. No. They faced each other before, and I think he pinned AJ. I think that what got him to that point of the United States Championship.
Oh, yeah,
And he pinned him in
yeah.
a tag team match too, I think.
That's right. So I mean, almost that's like a rematch. The women's tag team titles match was okay. Sasha versus Becky was great.
Great day.
Roman versus Roman was great with the Luke Harper come back. The Raw tag team titles predictable but great match overall. New Day Revival, good match. Seth versus Braun, good match. So yeah, I mean, I just hope that the next pay-per-view is stipulations are changed or we got
But it's Hell in
new
a Cell.
matches. Well, yeah, Hell in a Cell.
It is Hell in a Cell. And can I touch on AEW a little bit?
Go ahead,
With
man.
that? So, the difference between AEW and WWE is AEW is harping on no scripted promos. Like, it's the wrestlers' ideas, performers' idea. And they're also harping on wins and losses matter. So, if you lose a match, you might lose your spot somewhere in the ranking. Kenny Omega, I think, is 1 and 2.
Okay.
And
Kenny's been taking a lot of L's.
he took like 2 L's in AEW. Now the thing to me, his match with Pac, it was great.
Good match.
Great. If you haven't seen AEW All Out, go see AEW All Out, please. It's on Bleacher Report Live. I know it's on Fight TV and stuff like that. But I like how the wrestlers are being used. You're not going to put the old school. Now, some people had issues with Chris Jericho being the current AEW World Champion, and he kind of got the AEW Championship lost.
That's what I saw. It was stolen out of his truck or something.
Now, I did see an Instagram picture with Crime Time holding the title. So it was like, yeah, we got a title, but we don't want it. We just want the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
You know, we return the title to you. I'm not sure how real that is,
Yeah.
but
That'd be dope.
for someone like Chris Jericho to be the first AEW World Champion, that says a lot. You might say, well, he's too old to have it. Like, not really. It's going to be on TNT. So everybody and their mom know who Chris Jericho is.
They
Chris
remember
Jericho is
WCW.
Exactly. He's
Right.
the lead singer of Fozzy. He got his own band. He's the first undisputed
One of
champion
the most
in the
decorated champions
period.
in wrestling.
And I've always enjoyed his mic work too. I always
Yes.
thought he was very charismatic with what he was saying, both in WCW and
Always finds a way.
WWF. Yeah.
Always finds a way to reinvent himself. And the list, that was all his idea. The code breaker, the new finisher move and stuff like that. A little bit of the bubbly. That's him.
bubbly.
Yeah, that's him.
I've said
Okay.
that probably over 100,000 times, like ever since I've seen him say it.
That's all him. So for now to say, okay, what if Hangman Page won the title first? Okay. Not a lot of people know who Hangman Page is. We know who Hangman Page is, but not the casual audience.
I'm the casual audience because I don't know who Hangman Page is.
Exactly.
So that-
See what I'm
okay,
saying?
Yeah.
But you know who Chris Jericho is.
I do.
Household name. So for someone to beat Chris Jericho for that title, that means a whole lot more than the first world champion. Because do anybody remember the first world champion from WWF or WCW, NWA? Unless you actually try to look it up.
Yeah.
But you don't know that off the top of your head, off the rip. So it means a lot for Chris Jericho to hold that title because I'm thinking the rumors is circling that Cody will face Chris Jericho at Full Gear.
Yeah, I think
And I'm not looking for Cody to win the title either because he is the head guy and he's trying to avoid things. And you see him kind of avoid himself being in title matches. Kind of like fused with Shawn Spears, which that was my favorite match too. Him and Tully Blanchard. That was great. We have any more comments? Like anybody for?
Nothing that I see. You see anything on Facebooks and the Instagrams there?
While we wait, what's your
Okay.
favorite championship belt design?
Oh, it has to be the NWA World Title.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to be 10 pounds of gold. I met Wildfire Tommy Rich. We actually had dinner together at his wife's birthday. I don't know if you guys remember Wildfire Tommy, but he had the belt sitting up there. I said, hey man, can I hold the belt? And it is literally 10 pounds.
That's crazy.
It's literally 10 pounds of gold. So that belt holds so much weight because NWA is now out now because I think Nick Aldis Nick Aldis is the current NWA World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they're presenting that belt, the championship match, it's like it's a sports type match. They're checking boots, they're checking all this stuff for you and all this other stuff, and then you got yourself a sports type match. So I love that belt. That's my favorite belt. What about you?
I might go big gold, man. That belt right there, it just to me personifies like a championship belt.
Mm.
From the size of it to who has held that belt from Ric Flair promos to its tenure in WCW, then switching it to WWF and to the WWE. How important Triple H used to make that belt feel.
Mm-hmm. Round your waist.
Man, yeah.
I think now, I know you was talking about NXT. I know we talked off air a little bit about AEW. The WWE Clash of Champions match anything AEW's done? The answer is no.
Okay.
But the same fan base that NXT has is the same fan base that AEW has.
Yeah.
They cater to a certain audience that love professional wrestling and not much of the pomp and circumstance that Raw and SmackDown have.
It kind of reminds me of ECW.
Yeah.
In terms of like an ECW, I remember going to like a bunch of ECW house shows when we were here, like in the township, and those were crazy.
Yeah.
And it just, anytime you see like the commercials for NXT, it has that same vibe of like the wrestlers being in there with the crowds and just feeding off the energy a lot, which is really cool.
Definitely. So that's why NXT is on Wednesday night along with AEW. But see, we in this day and age where you don't really have to flip channels down, because if you got a DVR, you can DVR this show here and watch this show live. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna watch AEW live. I'm gonna watch NXT later because I know what NXT brings.
Mm-hmm.
But the unique thing about it is, by ratings wise, I think you have 72 hours to watch a show you DVR so it can get measured before it can count.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you might have the same numbers. Now, speaking of which, AEW on TNT will be in Charlotte in November the 6th in the Bojangles Coliseum.
Okay.
So them tickets are on sale if you want to get those tickets.
Okay.
So I was going to go to Clash of Champions, but I'm like,
It's kind of pricey.
I'm going to go see it. But actually, military and all that, they actually get in free.
Okay.
For SmackDown and Raw, and I think some pay-per-views except for the major ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah, they get in free.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm a little skeptical on Hell in a Cell. We'll see. They're gonna be at least 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Sasha Banks and Becky definitely. Probably Randy and Kofi. That'd probably be the end all be all for them.
I don't need to see Randy and Kofi again.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Unless Eric Bischoff says let's do something else.
Right.
Executive producer of SmackDown.
Yeah. I don't
So
really
Bischoff
know.
is still in the mix behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
He's been hired to oversee SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman is hired to oversee Raw. You notice like a little difference in Raw, like a little bit more edgy, just a little bit.
That's Heyman coming out? Probably?
That's Heyman coming out. Like the
Okay.
whole thing with Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. You remember when Bobby went through that screen?
Mm-hmm.
That was all Paul Heyman.
Okay.
Yeah, that was dope.
That spelled Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Okay.
ECW.
So y'all got any closing thoughts? We wrap up?
Closing thoughts. Overall, I mean, a good pay-per-view. It was WWE, so I'm glad that we were able to get some good matches from it. I'm hoping Hell in a Cell will be a whole lot better, because I do expect better things from Hell in a Cell. I really do, because that pay-per-view has a lot of, like, I guess, history behind it and stuff. We've seen a lot of great stuff from Hell in a Cell, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
A little bit of blood wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to my co-hosts, Brittany Sherman, King Milas, Rick the Ruler, and Thanos Rick. We actually did a show Saturday, me and King Milas, on Demon Slayer. Is it worth the hype? And recommendations for other anime, iShield 21.
Okay.
We also did a show yesterday, me, Rick the Ruler, and Thanos Rick, on the impact of 80s movies pop culture. And it was so packed with information, we decided to make it a part 1. And we also talked about GameStop closing 200 stores last week and underperforming stores.
Yeah.
But shout out, and also again, give us a follow. Orange Phoenix 2017 on Instagram.
Oh, great.
Orange Phoenix Geek Corner. Follow us in the group, and you can actually join the group. I will accept you. I'll run the group, and our podcast is weekly. So but this week is different because it's gonna be 2 episodes. I already released the first one. I'm gonna release the next one tomorrow, and we talk about everything in geek culture, and we will have a part 2 of 80s pop culture because we got into Last Dragon and we went on a tangent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went on a
Talk about
tangent.
that all
Well, you
day.
can't help but to
You can't
Last Dragon, man.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podbean, and Apple Podcasts. Give us a listen. On
Hey,
our feeds.
global, baby.
Yeah, we actually are.
That's
Yeah,
The
we
podcast
actually are.
that's what's up.
We got listeners
It's
in
fast,
England, New Zealand, Australia. I got 2 listeners in Russia. I just saw the stats on that.
That's cool.
So
Before we go, I want to say shout out to Ray Sean and whoever else was in the chat. Ray Sean was chatting the most. But Ray Sean said his favorite belt was a WCW heavyweight belt.
yeah.
That's what he
Gold,
liked.
baby.
So,
So,
there we go.
I came.
I think we got some stuff.
Yeah, y'all got some stuff. So
Oh, okay.
thank
Appreciate
y'all.
You got goodies out here, son.
To thank y'all for having me on the show. I bought 3 things.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So some of you may not know what this is, but this is Superhuman Samurai, Cyber Squad,
Okay.
or Gridman in
Okay.
Japanese. So that's one of those.
Okay. We will put that up on the set.
And I brought you a Renji Obari from Bleach pop figure.
Hey.
Bleach. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
my anime right there. I love Bleach.
And
Yes.
Bleach is the joint.
Yes.
And also, I found this little gem. It's an older anime. It's called Getter Robo Armageddon, the complete series from Blu-ray.
Okay.
Bought this for
So
you guys.
familiar.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yes.
It's a nice mecha, man.
Yes. Yo, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you again for being here, man. We will definitely do this again.
Sure.
Hopefully, I mean, I would say for sure whatever the next big WWE pay-per-view is, but we could probably do it on some other wrestling stuff too.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Or anime.
Yeah, anime for sure. Y'all, we out. Thank you for being here. Ray Sean, whoever else was in the chat. That's the one I saw. I guess Brett Seats from Facebook, and then Derek from Instagram,
Go on,
and
Brett.
whoever. Yeah, Leroy, you got anything to say?
Look here, brother. This has been a great conversation.
There we go.
But we need to wrap this up.
All right, so hit
Me and
the
Raymond said we
end
gotta
stream.
hold the show. We gotta say
Yeah.
goodbye.
This is the cream of the cream of the crop.
I can't see nothing.
Stop. It says stop streaming in the corner.
Where? Ah, I see it.